Good morning, good morning. Today we're taking a look at XRP and some of the background info along with the Sigma coin. So, all right, two universes, and it appears that the higher time frame backtest is the one that we're in. So our 3-day indicator is getting ready to flip here, and we should have that within 24 hours, less than 12 hours, that should post. So that will be our alert that we officially get for the upside move. For those who are in the Sigma Discord with 160 million token gated lock, we have more than just this that's playing out. We have quite a few things happening. So if you have a chance, try to get in there while you can so we can get you some money, not financial advice. So, all right, so we're about to have this indicator flip through. That'll be this afternoon, assuming we continue to stay in this momentum structure that we're at right now. Zooming in on the short time frame, we have our ABC and then a 1-2, and now we have a 5-wave impulse that we're expecting to move off the lows here. And pretty clearly a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we had drawn this yesterday. And this is definitely looking like a triangle. So our expansion is getting ready to move to the upside here. And today should be a good day with the NVIDIA earnings that we have playing out. So expecting this move higher here for this first wave to kind of play out. Talking with X-Force yesterday, he expects this to be our macro wave 1, and then of course there's wave 2. He's going to be only looking for 1-2 pullback, so it's 1-2 pullback, and then it continues on. And he expects us to move back up into this $2 region of supply here, where that initial breakdown happens. So he's thinking we get back up into this region, and I agree. So you can see this inefficiency and that inefficiency still need to be kind of reclaimed. And then there's a lot of support right here for these people. So $2 XRP is likely to be here sooner rather than later. So that'd be nice. And then we jump over to, well, let's support this with our background liquidity. Well, here we are, weekly, 2-week chart, and we've got ourselves some liquidity right here at the $1.50. So we could easily push through here. If we expand this out, I think for, let's say, a month, we should be able to see the liquidity to the upside as this loads, and then we can start working our way out of here. Expectations, yeah, there you go. So there's your major batch of liquidity, chop through this region, ultimately get back up into these two areas. Even if we do get it back up here, a back test into this demand is likely. So do expect that we will have some more up and then down kind of moves, but XRP does like to move quickly. So be ready for that. Fear and greed, if it loads, is still floating around 11. And then we're going to skip back over to the Sigma coin, which is now not loading either. My goodness. And once this loads, we can see something magical. There we go. All right, so here's Sigma. Here's the magic. And look at this. Beautiful volume step in. Impulsive moves off the lows. And we have a potential breakout starting here as price action go higher quickly. Volume picked up massively. And we have, yesterday, I think as high as a 40% return, which outpaced most of the XRPL ecosystem. So massive demand stepping in. People whom are buying this are receiving the 160 million Sigma tokens, getting their deals, and then they're ultimately able to get access to the Discord to be part of the journey. So a breakout and a consolidation on this level is looking likely. And I want to see us get back up here and then chop for a little bit and then move higher. So today could be a very good day for both XRP and Sigma as we continue higher off of these lows. So 4 hour is reset, so a cooling period is expected. And then you've got, I believe, our daily is just now getting going. Yep, there you go. Look at that. So our daily is just beginning the journey higher. And with that, I bet you the 3 day is also ready. Yep, it's working to a next leg higher. So expectations are that we should see Sigma move up to about 645K market cap. And we're getting there, guys. So cost of enrollment into the Sigma Discord has just diminished from I think it was like $750, $500 down here, $750. Now we're already, I think, at 1,000. So do what you can. DCA, degen responsibly, and you too can get part of the Discord because prices of this coin staying at this level are unlikely. And let's just again say we only simply get a retrace just into like that supply right there. Let's just say we get up to the 618. Anybody who's putting some investments in at this point, assuming we get to this level, would be looking at a 4x, which is awesome. And then if we can reclaim the prior all-time high, well, now we're looking at a 21x. And then per the minimum target for X-Force, we'd be looking for a 70x, which would take us up into this 1.34 million market cap and a 70x range here. So let's just kind of plug that there. So 38 million market cap roughly. So targets, of course, are higher, that we can go into 121 million is probably the most likely initial first stop. And that from our current price would be a potential 233x from the current levels. So looking back at charts that I've just seen, because of how small this is that little bump that you see that like looks like this, right? You know, some little take it off log, and you just see this little tiny move here. Let's see if we can make this scale. There we go. You just see this guy, and then when you zoom out, once the explosion happens and we're way up into these regions, then all of a sudden things start looking very different. So so we will continue to watch and monitor what we are doing over here, and I think it's bullish. So I'm excited for everybody. So at minimum, first potential area of influence and projection is this 4x from here, from our current prices. So and then lastly, we're going to try to see the fear and greed. Yep, 16. So we're just starting to work our way off the lows here, and that's better, but we've been down as low as this 5. So all right, guys, so basically, long story short, fear and greed starting to recover. Liquidity to the upside, at least at the $1.50 before we have to chop, and maybe even more into the $2 range, quicker sooner rather than later. Sigma 3-day RSI, Stoch RSI is still working higher, and we have our daily moving along, and our 4-hour getting a little cooked, but that could easily be reset in a day or two. So I think anybody coming down here will be buying to give themselves that additional Sigma entry. And then we bounce over to the triangle that we're seeing here, obviously, that will continuation. Wave 5s for XRP tend to be pretty aggressive, so we'll see how that plays. Green in most of the market right now for XRP, but not everything else. And lastly, the 3-day indicator is getting ready to indicate. So, and that is totally not it. Let's try that one. There we go, right there. So, all right, guys, we'll check in tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching.